Okay, it looks like we're on the air now.
Looks like we're live. So
I'll go ahead and open up for questions and answers. Looks
yes.
like the feature is disabled.
Huh.
Well,
So I'm currently banned from touching anything on the computer. So my tech guys are telling me if I touch one more thing, they're gonna chop my head off. So kind of have to just sit here with my hands tied, so to speak. I am allowed to go to http :// finance.yahoo.com. And it's just kind of a personal site that the guys set up for me where I can check out all the latest stocks, which is very relevant for us here. You can check out the S&P, the Dow, the NASDAQ. So that's 3 stocks that I can check out. It'd be great, guys, if we could add more to that in the future. Oh, okay. So they're saying there's some sort of arrow here that I just click. And how about that? So I got 6 stocks now. So 6, is that right, guys? So, oh, there's more. Well, it's a lot of stocks I can check out. 9. The list keeps growing by 3s. So fantastic how the technology just keeps multiplying.
I think getting into finances probably a good topic of discussion after this last couple of weeks has been volatile, to say the least. Everybody was really expecting the Santa rally, and we really didn't get it this year. I mean, at best it was weak. Do you have any thoughts on that, Hal?
I've told my guys time and time again, don't rely on the Santa rally. It's great if it happens, but I mean, folks are stingy, and then there's a lot of factors. There's in today's day and age where it's you go online and you click buttons and whatnot. It's all about that online sale, and customers will hold out past Christmas just so that they can get the deal of a lifetime, as it were. So it's volatile indeed, Gil.
Well, and do you think people are still nervous after looking at 2008 and then having a flash crash back in August? Do you think people are starting to feel like maybe a little bearish? Maybe they just feel like there may be some kind of recession looming after living through the 2008 recession.
Right. Well, they keep promising that there won't ever be another recession. They keep doing it over and over and over again, and it's kind of like the recession's coming. We will recess just as if we were in grade school, Gil. It just keeps coming. Recess. I went to recess, 5 times a week as a youngster, as a tyke. What are your thoughts, Gil? Do you think we're going to head towards a recession, or is this just Johnny on the spot?
I don't know what Johnny on the spot means. Well, honestly, I mean, we're talking about seeing low transportation levels, some of the lowest we've seen in years.
Yes.
That's not good. I mean, if people aren't ordering things, obviously nothing is Uber. There's obviously nothing moving. There's nothing driving transportation, and if that's the case, then we do have to at least stop and ask a question. I think a lot of people are just feeling a little bullish right now. They're still stuck coming out of the recession. And I think we're not there yet. I think we've still got a couple. I won't say recessions, but we definitely have some hits to take.
Yeah, well, and I'm just looking at this finance.yahoo site, and it looks like the majority of just even today, the stocks aren't doing well. The stock market is just all over the place. Got the S&P 500 is down, I believe, 3 points. You got the Dow down to 50 points. That's alarming. That's a lot of points.
Well, it is, and I think that it's also important to realize that on Saturdays the market isn't open, so that's probably reflecting the gains on the short day Christmas Eve. So yeah, I think that's interesting. I really wish the prophet, as we call him, I wish he were available right now to give us some direction here, because it's alarming is a good word for it, and honestly, quite frankly, it's concerning to some extent, especially if you have any 401ks tied to this stuff or anything like that. So right. The difference between just a simple correction and a recession is massive right now.
Right. And at 40 years old, I'm considering getting a 401k. But now I'm not so sure. What with just all the uncertainty.
And you invest in boats, is that correct?
Yeah, it's one of the many things that I invest in. Yes, coffee is another thing. I love my coffee. I'm a coffee fiend, caffeine fiend. So self-proclaimed.
That's good.
I love this stuff. I'm drinking it right now. It's 9:40 at night. I'm about to go to bed in about 20 minutes. I've got it right here. It's caffeinated. I'm drinking it right now.
That's great. Wow. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen just to see if it's possible, to let the world see what I'm seeing on this view here. This looks like it could be
Inception.
An endless tunnel. So here
spoiler alert, I didn't want to give that away.
Take a couple looks at. So
wow.
There you go. That's a chart.
It's a lot of lines.
Yeah. So we'll have to see if that pops up later on. I don't know if any of our live viewers were able to see that or not.
Right. So if you could just type in the group chat on the side of your screen, if you saw that chart, that would be great.
We do have one viewer right now. I don't know if you're seeing that, but we do have one.
We get that viewer to just type in something like some sort of a message like "Hi" or "What's up?" I believe as the kids are saying now. Just anything really. And we'll wait. So fantastic, by the way. We've got one viewer, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, it there for a second it went to 0, but it is back at 1.
Oh, great. Fantastic.
So it appears as if we have multiple people all just logging on and off at different times.
Right. So, which is, it's great for business. But anyways, Gil, I wanted to talk a little bit more about my coffee business. You know that in early 2005 is when my coffee business went under. And that was actually due to when people started, had less to do with the stock market, and people actually found out what the product was made out of. So it's a Kopi Luwak is a fantastic coffee. It's the best coffee that I've ever had. But it comes from the excrement of these wild cats that are in the Philippines. Mm-hmm. So me and a team, we went out to Indonesia, and we started to monetize this. And folks, as Gil remembers, I called him on the phone and I said, we've got to figure out a way to monetize this. And of course, long story short, we got people in the States hooked on the stuff until PETA came out and revealed that we were just force feeding these cats berries nonstop.
Well, and that was really interesting to me because an organization like PETA obviously cares about the welfare of animals. And what I don't hear anyone talk about enough, especially the government, is the employment rate of animals.
Right.
It's really overlooked, and I thought it was a great opportunity to give these cats uh, a chance at a better life and a chance to be employed and feel like they were doing something of worth, something of value. And
Right.
Peter really came in and put the brakes on that a lot quicker than I expected, with no alternatives for these unemployed cats now.
Right, exactly. And I told these PETA representatives, I said, if somebody paid me in food to live in a small room and eat food all day and just harvest my excrement, what a great gig! What a fantastic! I mean, we even had a little screen TV with nature tracks going on. I think we had what's his name, Steve Irwin, the nature guy. He was on nonstop on the Discovery Channel. So these cats, they ate constantly and watched television for a living. I said, we're giving these cats a home, and we're protecting them from the elements. And how is this cruel? Now, granted, if they didn't eat their food, they would be crushed to death by the amount of berries that were coming in. But they really didn't get much sleep as a result, because if there were too many berries, it was just the design. One of the minor design flaws of the system is if the berries came in on top of them while they were sleeping, a lot of them would just suffocate from the berries. But who said, they truly lived out the motto, you can sleep when you die. So
Well, and I think, and that's really, I mean, it would have been one thing to come in and maybe look at some of the flaws in the design and recommend improvements, but to just
right.
completely shut down the organization, I think, I mean, I for one was shocked.
Yeah, I was completely taken aback. And also, a lot of people in the States, they weren't fans of how the coffee beans went through that process. A lot of people were shocked to find out that the beans came directly from the cat's excrement, that they weren't sanitized or anything like that. And we had our marketing guys out there trying to explain, well, what if we put them in bleach and Clorox and stuff like that? The beans wouldn't be good anymore. The refinement process is just fantastic what these animals do to the coffee. And if you were to put any sort of chemicals in there that would protect you from a coli poisoning or pink eye or something like that, then it just really wouldn't be as good. So
Well, and we're in a society today. You look at the success of McDonald's. You look at the success of some of the major grocery retailers. We're in an industry, in my opinion, that almost prefers the chemicals over the natural process, and I think it's become a really interesting food. What I would consider to be an epidemic.
absolutely. And it kind of takes us back to the stock market. Like, why isn't it open on Saturday?
Well, and I. I don't know. I mean, I could definitely see where the ties are. But to continue down the path of business, I think that's a great lead into Tyrone's Tykes, one of our many sponsors. Tyrone, obviously massive. I think he weighs 380 pounds. He's 6'8".
Right. He's a large fellow.
And he worked in the WWE for a long time, and now Tyrone's Tykes has become a daycare / training grounds for young wrestling professionals.
Right.
Go ahead and elaborate. I know you use and have used Tyrone's Tykes in the past, and you have a great
That's
relationship
right.
with them.
Yeah, Tyrone, me and him go way back. We hung out a lot in the 80s, the 90s. But basically, Tyrone, he takes these kids in. All my nieces and nephews are Tykes at the Tyrone's Tykes, and he just takes them in. And this is more of a, you could go, and this is for parents who don't want the usual experience that you get with a daycare of let's go in and teach our kids shapes and things like that. I mean, you get these things. There's one shape in Tyrone's Tyke and Tykes, and that's the square circle right there in the center. of the ring. And these tykes, they battle it out for number one positions. My nieces and nephews, some of them did well, some of them didn't, and it's a great opportunity to teach these little guys, these 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds, that life, when life gets you down, you just got to get right back up. So fantastic.
And there were allegations that the kids had to wrestle in order to obtain their meal or their snack for the day or nap time. Can you kind of elaborate? Were those allegations? Was there any water to those, or
there was quite a lot? Yes, but I stood by Tyrone in that crisis because he was getting a lot of flack, and I remember saying, when you're in a real life situation. When is it that someone just walks up to off the street and says, "Hey, Hal, you're special. Here's a free lunch." It never happens. And so these kids were learning real life values. If you can't compete at a level of a WWE wrestler, if you can't do the proper arm bars and the proper smackdowns, then you're not going to eat lunch. So. It's just the survival of the fittest. Some of the youngsters, because a lot of the new parents were like, okay, I have a 6-month-old. How are they going to have any chance of competing? Well, and they were actually used as props. So as long as they were willing to be in the wrestling match as some sort of a prop, like stand in for a chair or something that the 3-year-olds could throw at the 2-year-olds or something like that, then they would get a free lunch. It was just natural. So Tyrone's Tykes is a great place. Gotten a lot of scrutiny. It's not for everybody, but all my nieces and nephews definitely 100% go there.
Well, and they've done a lot of good for our program. Really giving, generous company. They were actually, and this was kind of getting into our next segment.
Right.
They were actually the ones who sent us on the trip to Indonesia. And the reason I say that has to do with our next topic is obviously we had some experiences with water current there.
Right. Yeah. I remember that the current was actually propelled by the radiation that was coming from allegedly our factory. Now, coincidentally, there wasn't any other factory there in a 10-mile radius, but we always denied to the judge that it was coming from our factory. We had a special water treatment facility that we used, and we maintained that what was coming out of our factory was essentially good for the environment because it literally kept things moving down the river. So it's great, and that we could also probably tie some electrical current in there quite literally because when some of the locals were going to bathe in the river, a lot of them were getting electrocuted. It wasn't obviously some of the older residents were electrocuted to death, but for the vast majority of the population, it was a good incentive to not bathe in a river.
Well, and I think it's interesting because currents do serve so many different roles,
right.
And so on one hand we have people using currents in order to remove filth from their bodies.
Right.
And on the other hand, we have a large organization trying to remove filth from their factories. And there's a disconnect there in that one is wrong and quite frankly was heavily punished for it.
Right.
And on the other hand, it's accepted and oftentimes encouraged when in fact showers have been invented at this point.
Exactly, and we were, to take that a step further, we were trying to remove filth from the river, which was, these local residents, they were They were getting into the river and they were just, letting go. I mean, they were a lot of nude residents just chilling in the river, and we're like, hey, we're trying to make coffee here. Stop, dipping your sack in the river, as it were. We're trying to make great coffee, and we would appreciate if you didn't clog our filters with your ball sweat. So, it's interesting to me that you put a little bit of electricity in the water and everyone just freaks out. Yes, it's a public river, but we built a swimming pool for like, believe it was like a 4 or 5 foot pool, 10 foot by 10 foot. It was plenty big for anybody who still had that ancient desire to bathe in a river. So yeah, the locals, and that's why they're a third world country. They can't understand the advancement of modern business.
That's why.
So, and it looks like we did lose our. Do we still have our viewers, or?
Well, we have one, and they keep going on and off. I'm not sure. It must be multiple people.
Right, and it could be also that we have a disconnect with the Google station. Have we got Google on the line? Is any of the tech guys calling Google right now? What is Google up to tonight? Do they have the day off? I know that the stock market does too. So maybe that's a coincidence. Google stock has the day off. Maybe Google does too.
Oh. Man. I think we're about there. I wish Christian would join in, or Kellen, or somebody.
Seriously.
This recording should work really well, though.
Yeah, no, it's great. Did you ever get any feedback from Katie?
Yeah, she was able to see it. I don't know if she saw. I shared my screen or not. She says she's still watching.
Well, that's fantastic. So we do have a viewer for sure. So I'm just going to share my screen right now. I don't know if you can see this.
Yep.
But I'm just going to go and click out of that. That's a little unprofessional. But so looks like this is pretty cool. It's telling me to sign in. So, ooh, what's this? Imperia Online. So a lot of stocks. Ooh, Dragon of Atlas. Oh, Slots Farm. Sluts. Oh, PG. Let's keep it PG. Local bingo. So a lot of great stuff here.
Plus, we have the ability to broadcast live. So whenever we blow up, we can have just secret viewings for those who are diehard fans.
Right. Tune in to the special closed session. We get some one-on-one time with Gil and Hal, where you can ask your own questions, and us being two business tycoons will be able to definitely answer those for you 100%.
100%.
100%. Something we can guarantee. So,
And what's really great is we're able to do this for 8 hours.
Right.
A lot of shows run out of material, but with discussing everything current, it wouldn't be crazy to have an all-night session. I mean, there's just so much to talk about.
Yeah, there's literally hundreds of stocks. You know, I'm looking at the stocks right now, and for some reason, again, guys, I'm only getting like 2 now, S&P and Dow. So, but I know that there's more. I know that there's at least 98 more. So, and they're telling me that I don't know how to work this well. You don't know how to work. Get your shit together. So, anyways, yeah, we've got plenty of material right now. There's a lot of things we can talk about. And it'll be great when we got some of our financial experts. It's really great to have, you know, more than just, 2 people talking about the stock market and what's, what it's going to do. And it's going to be great when we have, some of our guys, some of the people that, we'll have on this show more frequently that'll just tell us what's up in the latest trends on Wall Street.
Well, and I think after as you know, I graduated from MIT, and
Right.
I actually worked on Wall Street for a long time as a it's not a barista, but at a coffee shop. I actually made the coffee right across from the market itself.
Wow.
And we were really just fortunate to meet, and that's actually where you and I had met. But
Right.
we were very fortunate to meet just a wealth of knowledge, and even I was able to pick up some. I'm sure you picked up a lot of learnings in our time in New York.
Right.
But we met a lot of great people who really have a lot of great things to say, and I think we should be able, when we're able to get them on the air, to really learn some valuable lessons.
Sure. Yeah. And I think on during your 5 years as a barista, I think you actually served coffee to, I believe, 2 highlights were Warren Buffett and Donald Trump, I believe it was. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, would Gil give our viewers a little idea what it's like to hand a cup of coffee, or just even to take an order from one of those fantastic business tycoons?
Well, it was really an incredible experience. You could tell. So Donald Trump, he's really received a lot of flack in this.
Sure.
But this presidential campaign that he's putting together, from the time that I knew him, I'd actually served coffee to him multiple times, and the coffee shop was filled with Muslims and with Black people of all types.
Right.
And I never saw from Donald any form of disrespect. I had seen in one situation he had walked up to a Muslim who had just walked in the store and said, "You shouldn't be here."
Right.
And I think that some people in the store maybe misinterpreted that. It was more so he was the Muslim gentleman was obviously very energetic. And,
Right.
and so I think the message that Donald was trying to say was, hey, this is a place that serves coffee and caffeine. You already seem like you might be exceeding the energy levels you even need as a human. It really seemed
Right.
caring, I guess,
Right.
is what I'm trying to say.
Well, sure. And I used to frequent that coffee shop a lot. I would do crossword puzzles, and I know exactly what you're talking about. There was a lot of Muslims, a lot of Blacks that would frequent the coffee shop, and were we uncomfortable about it? Yes. But did we say anything about it? No. I mean, we were actually slightly, I don't know if afraid is the right word, but I'm just going to use it. I was afraid that, something would happen to my life if I said the wrong thing. And, of course, I didn't know how to speak jive back then. So all of their gangster language and Taliban language or whatever you would want to call it. It just went right over my head. So I was even impressed that Donald would talk to these people because he already had more balls than I did.
Well, I really think he did extend his hand in a caring way, and a lot of people misinterpreted it.
Sure.
With Warren, it was really interesting. So I don't know if you've heard this or not, but Warren Buffett is actually not worth his time to bend down and pick up a $100 bill. He makes more money in the time it takes him to pick up $100 bill than that $100 bill is worth.
Wow.
And so the thing that was interesting about serving coffee to Warren, and what I really learned serving him, he actually didn't even speak. He really just kind of stood there.
Right. Sure.
And we really worked as a team to kind of figure out what exactly he wanted. And it really was kind of difficult, but it really showed that he knows exactly what he's doing. And he's really not here to make decisions on coffee. He's here to make decisions on investing. And
Sure.
and I saw in him a man who was determined and focused. And I learned a lot from that. I think that at the time, I was not very focused, and so I was really able to gain some valuable life lessons from that. It took us only 45 minutes to serve the coffee.
Right.
And
Sure.
so,
Which is fantastic.
well, and a lot of people typically order. And so
Right.
it's usually, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. We went through about 15, 16 different drinks before the one that he wanted was placed in front of him.
Right. Well, and that's why he's a millionaire. You put 16 drinks before him, he only paid for one. So a shrewd businessman. I myself would actually try to employ that $100 bill theory quite literally to my own life. So I began doing this thing where I would walk into, order a cup of coffee, and reason with myself that it was just during the wait I could be making coffee myself. So I could be making an entire pot of coffee myself. So I'd actually go into the store, I'd order the coffee, and then I would just walk out of the shop and get my own coffee because to me it was a matter of principle. So, and I even had a little USB coffee maker in my car until it caught on fire. It was a Chinese product, fantastic little thing until it, of course, blew up, and my Mazda burst into flames with it. And then it was cheaper to just go into the coffee shop because I had to walk there. So, but anyways, long story short, the Warren Buffett is a fantastic guy. He doesn't pick up $100 bills. Great example of where I would like to be one day.
Oh, absolutely. And that's, well, that and the rent were the two reasons I decided that living in the middle of New York City was not for me. But it was primarily rent. I worked on filing bankruptcy, ended up just selling all my possessions and moving back in with my parents for a little bit, as you know.
Right.
And since then, things have really turned around. But I also looked at Warren Buffett and I said, how do I get to where he is if I'm going to stay here just serving drinks?
Right.
And so that's when I really started picking up the stock market and kind of trying out the day trading thing, really. And I still am in my parents' basement, but definitely with a strong motivation to get back to the Warren Buffett lifestyle.
Sure. And, a lot of people will knock being in living with your parents, but, any money that you have coming in, that's 100% gain right there. That's nothing that goes towards the rent, towards the utility, the electric. That's all paid for. Your dad is probably in his 60s, his 70s anyways. You know, his life is over at that point. So him just, you know, paying for your living expenses is just fantastic. My father actually, when I went to school, he gave me $500,000, which, you know, it's not a lot in today's market, but it kind of gave me that flexibility to try things out. You know, did I want to be a social media expert, which, you know, really didn't exist at the time. You know, did I want to try pottery, and major in pottery, and which is what I did for a number of years. So it, you know, it just really gave me that freedom to just, you know, really try things out. I incidentally, by the time I was a senior, had gone through most of the 500,000. I actually had $500 left in my account when I graduated. Um, and that's when I discovered a great thing um, called uh, paycheck in advance, and I would. um, I couldn't believe that you know, more people weren't jumping on this because instead, you know, I would work at you know, I worked at a coffee shop. Again, I'm a coffee fiend, caffeine fiend, and rather than wait till the end of the week to get your money, I would just go to these payday loans, and they would give it to you immediately, and that really had a lot of value for me.
Oh my gosh. I can't figure out if Gil is like young and naive, and so he just like kind of goes along with whatever you're saying, or if he's like young and like smart enough to like know you're an idiot, and so he like just like is like, no, that doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah, I think yeah, but I think I like it when you're like when you do like that. Well, yeah, yes, but and then you like say like, well, actually, you know, that could be kind of a.
Yeah.
It's like I post like this, like I'm tracking with you. You know, I know exactly what you're saying, and then you're like, yeah, well, yeah, that's great, but however, you know, like.
Yeah. Oh my.
What is Peter up to?
He says he doesn't have a Gmail. Oh my God. Oh man.
I'm so mad right now. How do you not have an Xbox Live? How do you not have?
I thought everyone had Gmail at this point.
Oh my gosh. It's just
Things are really spiraling.
I really don't need one, man. That's small town mentality.
Sheesh.
Well, that's a Google's for bigger towns like fancy cities. Live.com is what we use around these parts.
I mean, shoot, most people don't even have an email. What are they going to send me in the email they can't send me in the mail?
Plus, there's always all those viruses. I can't play Minesweeper if I'll get a bunch of pop-ups.
Well, that's what they do up there in DC. They just sit there and watch that shit.
I have a Gmail through my college. Make one. No. Private Gmail. Here. E. Holbrook at gmail.com.
That can be your name.
I really have no need for one. Hello, I'm applying for a job. Please contact me at kirstion@live.com.
How do I have 2 viewers? Who's my second viewer?
What?
Dude, we've just grown the podcast by 100%.
That's fantastic.
Oh, we lost one.
Oh, wow. Really don't need it, though.
God, do need some.
Out. Needing. You just make one. It doesn't affect life either way. Just have to make it. Son of a bitch.
Oh boy.
One for podcasts. I don't get that. It doesn't affect his life. Literally doesn't.
Oh. Oh.
Mm.
Pete's all in his feelings now.
All right, bro. Okay, cool, bro.
Sounds like something Hal Hamlin would say. I don't know why I needed Gmail in 2015.
Yeah, I know. Seriously. Gmail. Got AOL. I thought that's what AOL was for. They've been telling me I've got to get this Gmail thing, and well, what does it do? Well, we get emails sent to the account. I mean, okay, great. That's what my AOL account does. So, can you instant message from it? Oh, well, great. So you can also do that from my AIM. Why should I get something new? If it's not broken, then why should I fix it? Hal Hamlin.
So, Dan Taylor is who I originally sent these to.
Mm-hmm.
And he's with Nathan Diambra. And Nathan wants to make a blog. So, when like the whole Caitlyn Jenner thing went down, we came up with this idea for a blog because he said that he was trans athletic. So he just started looking at people and telling them that he was part LeBron James. And so we were thinking we should start a blog on that. So this seems like his kind of thing too. So I texted him, and he and Dan are together.
Oh, wow.
So if they oh, wow, we've got 3 viewers right now.
Fantastic.
If they end up in a place together where it's quiet enough that they can get on, they're going to let me know.
Wow, great, fantastic.
Now, I really think we've got an opportunity here.
Yeah. I think we do too. What's he talking about? What? I don't know. Me? Oh.
I wish you could see who your viewers are. This is weird AF.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Really excited. The debut of the podcast. Oh, holy crap. And Peter has jumped into the 21st century.
Fantastic.
Can you Google hang with us? Oh boy.
P. Holbrook.
Oh, that was close to what I said.
Freaking. It probably didn't have that name.
Fallbrook. Fallbrook.
Peter David.
They didn't have like Peter dot D Holbrook. They didn't have Peter D dot Holbrook.
They probably really didn't. We went through. I've got a girl at work named Foon Win. We went through every freaking combination of Foon Win, and there was nothing like close to it. We even we did like her. I think her middle name is Nam, like Nam, and we threw that in there. Nothing.
Huh.
Scary. I don't know why you want me to use the draw app.
I don't know. Let's give it a try.
What is Showcase? Why are all these features disabled? I want to have a question and answer with my viewers.
Add apps. Sporkle, mentally stimulating diversions with friends. Warlight. Warlight is a customizable strategy game where you complete sound. Sound is an app for creating music with your friends in a hangout. Google Effects. Silly hats and more. What? Can you see that?
I like that.
Great. Fantastic.
Oh, there I can see my viewers. Okay.
We could do like one part where it's like, well, I'm not really able to screen share here, so I guess I'll try to attempt to draw the SMP is is kind of spiraling down there like this. So
Hello?
you'll notice the trend.
Hey, what's up, man? It's super hot. Are you? Where are y'all going? Where are y'all going after Sonic? Oh, so you like in the pull up, sit there?
I'm a sports commentator now. Fantastic.
Because I need to Google Hangout y'all so y'all can see what we're working with here. So I don't know if this is a good opportunity or not, or if either of you have Google Hangout on your phone or anything, but I'll yeah, or yeah. I mean, y'all don't necessarily need to be on video, but if I Google Hangout you, you'll be able to see our video. So I can just add you in. And it should call you up. All right. Are y'all ready now? You want me to wait for a minute or what? All right. I'll hit you up. All right. Well, I think we have a real opportunity here.
I think we. I think we.
Should I be hitting up what's his name or what?
Peter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
I just sent Nathan an invitation. I don't know if it's gonna work or not.
Well, let's hope it does. I'm a little kitty cat now. Fantastic. It's just a little chilly in here, so I've got my sweater on, my scarf, or whatever it is. Now I'm one of those punk emo kids. And my collar's a little big. Nathan, are you with us?
Yellow.
Hey, Nathan. It's good to have you here on the show.
Thank you.
So
Speaking with Hal Hamlin right now, by the way.
there he is. And then you got Dan with you, right? Right, Nathan?
Yeah, Dan's right here. What's up? Dan's eating an Oreo. Sonic Blast.
That's dope. So, Nathan,
Picture.
what?
Yes.
So, Nathan, I know you and I had talked about the blog thing a little bit,
Right.
and then Dan, I've already introduced you to my podcast side. So, basically, what's going on around here is Luke and I, over Thanksgiving, we recorded a podcast called All Things Current.
Right.
And our podcast has to do with everything involving current or currency.
Right.
And so we're just sitting here trying to figure out how we can record it. We're just doing some character development, and basically I wanted to bring you guys in because we're going to need to have different colors on the show. And
Right.
so, Dan, I know you've got a mean podcast voice, and Nathan, I know you got the blog ideas. So I just wanted to loop you in, see if just basically get the ball rolling because we're just trying to get this thing up and going at this point.
I feel you.
And so Luke's character is Hal Hamlin, and he's already in character. and Luke's my cousin. I don't know if I said that, but and then I'm obviously Gil Gilson, who Dan has had the privilege of meeting. I don't know if I've sent you anything in that voice, Nathan, but
I don't know. I'll find out when you get into it, I guess.
yeah.
Fantastic.
So that's it. That's all I got for you, but I'm gonna try and get.
What's your character's name?
Oh, Hal Hamlin.
Okay. Cool.
Hal Hamlin and Gil Gilson.
Perfect.
We should have everybody that's on the show have like double letters.
Yeah.
Right. Like Ben Benson.
Yeah, there it is. Gil Gelson.
And like, and I think that the other thing is like we all gotta like start working on our characters. So Dan, I think you've got your voice like down. So like, there's also just like some process of like what are your like characters' quirks, like Hal Hamlin's like a 40-year-old, like just kind of perv. Gil Gilson he's like a young graduate who worked as a barista for a little bit at Starbucks on Wall Street, and now he lives in his parents' house, like in the basement.
Okay.
But he like in his mind and everywhere else, like he's just like super successful in his thinking.
That sounds eerily familiar to like my real life.
So, I'm sure that whoever calls in will develop their quirks as well, but...
Right. I'm thinking this is just off the top, but I might have to go with a character named Dick Dixon. I don't know.
I like it.
Yeah. And there's this old Sonic employee that's walking out to his car right now. He's like hunched over and like way overweight. And I'm pretty much going to make the character based off what I think he does in his spare time, which is probably like too much porn.
Fantastic.
So just
maybe I could go with like the international flair.
Ooh. Dan, you could probably be multiple people. You could be like a Hispanic, and you and Hal could probably have some beef.
Yes, but back in my country, we do a lot of the drugs.
A lot of the drugs.
Right. Well, this is America, so let's try to keep it in the States.
In the States.
I don't want to offend nobody.
Man. So you've done one podcast so far?
I mean, we did two, but they were both in one night, so it was basically one large extended one.
Are they anywhere for the public to view or listen to?
No, they're like 40-minute files. So
I got you.
yeah.
Are they in the Hangout? Can I listen to them?
I mean, I could probably figure out a way to get them either up on here, or we can listen to them when I'm down in Tennessee next week, or
Can have some of the guys in the studio probably get that online somehow.
That sounds.
The tech gurus in the back here, I'm not really sure what we do, but probably get a way to get that online for you there. So fantastic.
Okay. Fantastic. That would be ideal. That way I could understand the direction which this is going.
yeah. And I mean, we're still in like the startup phase, but I mean, primarily it's just like, let's talk about currents, and our big thing is the stock market and currencies. So,
But we're also like we're like reluctantly deliberate to stick to all things current, literally. So
Right.
like even though we don't really want to, we do have to talk about river currents and electrical currents.
Right.
Like
I've
we
got a
mainly want to
couple-
be like a Wall Street type show, but
You can't help.
we have to talk about all things current. So we have to stay
I've
true to
got
that.
a couple conspiracy theories on light bulbs that I think the
Perfect.
show will find very interesting.
That's perfect. That's what we need.
I don't think Thomas Edison was a human being.
Who is he talking about?
Dick Dixon might be a crazy old Southern guy that has conspiracy theories on everything.
yes.
That there Thomas Edison, I don't think that there boy was a human being.
say?
Something like that. Working on it.
I like that.
So we'll see. I like it though. When JL told me about the show initially, I was sold.
Yeah.
Guys,
As
1 second.
As
I'll
a
be right back.
listener, I'd spend my free time listening to it.
Luke stepped away. Pete's trying to join in right now too.
Who's Pete?
Peter's my other cousin.
Ooh. Is Kellen in this too? I think I saw Kellen's name in the group, the hangout.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Kellen in here. He's with his sister right now though.
That's fine.
I would love to have a fake podcast that we didn't tell people was fake.
That's our goal, is to get a couple
viewers who like think it's
Trying
real.
to get people that really think that it's real life.
Yeah.
And so like
You could just bring in guests.
yeah. That's what we're trying to do. So we can record this right here. And so like right now it's like recording and it like puts it all to YouTube. And so but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix it down and like just go straight from MP3. And so people will just hear our voices. And so no one's gonna know any different when they hear Hal Hamlin or Gil Gilson. They're gonna think that they're real people.
If you can convince people that that's real, that would be incredible.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Or just like treat it so real that even though people know that it's fake, they just like listen to it and like approach it as in like, this is a real like podcast that I'm listening to. I know it's not, and I know it's like a joke and I want to laugh at it, but they do it like it's real, so I'm going to approach it like it's real. That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
I love it. I've been thinking about this for a while. Maybe this is the beginning of this. I'm surprised that there's not. I'd love to start. This is like less of a joke and more of a serious thing. Having like run like a company that just like sets up podcasts in different cities across the world, and then the podcast is just done like maybe once a week, like an hour once a week or bi-weekly, and it's like about the city. So like Knoxville, you got like Knoxville people, Knoxville, you got Clay, like Knoxville artists and stuff. I think people would find it interesting in their city.
Yeah.
And I think people would find it interesting outside of their city. You know what I mean? Like you might be trying to listen to you might be up in Peoria, but you're trying to listen to the Knoxville one because you're interested in about what's going on in Knoxville, or you might be listening to the Blacksburg, Christiansburg area one. But dude, the podcast game is strong, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, we're pretty excited about it. Pete, are you on?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh man. So Pete, I don't know. Can you see our videos or do you?
Yeah,
or no?
yeah, I can see your videos.
Okay, so you got.
You're just a green person.
Yeah, I don't have a webcam.
So Luke just stepped out. Do you know what Chris is up to right now?
He's at one of his friend's house doing who knows what.
Still?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I asked him when he was going to be home, but he didn't say anything.
So, Pete, you got Nathan Diambra and Daniel Taylor there. Luke just stepped out for a minute. So Luke and I have basically been sitting around for like the last hour, just doing character development, just back and forth, talking in our characters. And then I just brought Nathan and Dan in and told them what was going on. And they're both pretty excited to get involved. So we're just sitting around shooting the bull right now.
All right.
So we're live. We're broadcasting to my parents and maybe Katie.
Okay.
So
Sounds
Hey,
fun.
Becky and Jimbo. And Katie.
there he is. There's Hal.
Hey guys, what's going on?
There he is.
He
Fantastic.
got in.
Fantastic. That the fantastic thing is a phenomenal little tagline. I love
Yeah,
it.
well, hey, you know what? Phenomenal is just as great as fantastic.
Fantastic.
Great.
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Oh man.
Dan, pull out what you got. Pull out your
What's my
little voice.
character? I don't
What
even
does
know
that
what my
even
character
mean? That
is.
sounds
What's
too sexual.
what's the one that you sent me with our Nicki Minaj podcast?
Nicki Minaj. I don't even. Like, when I think of Nicki Minaj, it's just like there's a lot there, there's like a lot to process, and you can't sit there and like just focus on the one thing 'cause it's like so big,
She's got a big personality. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, among other things, of course.
Right.
I don't know. That's kind of what I have. It's not much.
If we can get to a show about currency that ends up with us talking about Nicki Minaj, I'll be happy every time. I don't even care how many people watch.
Is it a stretch to talk about like Steph Curry and
Ooh.
Currency.
Currency. I think that works.
We can talk about how much money he makes
Not enough.
and how hot his wife is. That seems. I don't know.
Steph
Pete,
Currency.
Pete, what was your basketball coach character? Didn't we have one of those?
I can't remember his name. I forgot it.
And we have our expert, Timothy. He is here. He's actually an expert on Steph Curry, and that's it. He doesn't look at any. Is that right, Tim?
Wow, that's
you
fantastic.
don't look at any other players except Steph Curry. Is that correct? Tim, are you there?
Dude, Tim, do we have you on the line?
Is this me? What?
Yeah, Pete.
Tim, we would like you to talk about Steph Curry. Are you there? Ladies and gentlemen, Steph Curry expert, Tim Thompson.
What? Hey guys, my name's Tim. I like Steph Curry a lot. He's pretty
That's great. What do you like about him?
good. When you're making as much money, he's a real successful basketball player. Plus, he's got lots of money. So what's not to like about
And
the
it's
guy?
interesting because there have been talks this year about how Steph is really going to for Michael Jordan's greatest of all time position, and it's become kind of this topic of controversy among those who follow the NBA. What do you think? I mean, is it even a possibility that he could be among the rankings of Michael Jordan?
Well, I mean, you say he's gunning for this position, like it's something that's like he has to work for. But honestly, I think he's already reached it. I think he's already better than Michael Jordan.
Wow, bold predictions from Timothy here. Tim, I've got a question similar to that. It has to do with his style, and particularly his hairstyle. When it's short, I'm kind of like, yeah, that looks great. That looks I like that. Young, just stepped out of high school look. But as he kind of lets it go throughout the year, kind of looks like this large black bug is on top of his head, like slowly, gorging on his cranium. What's going on with the barber there?
Well, I mean, you see, it's just the overflow of talent that's coming from Steph Curry himself. He has so much talent that it's got to, go out of him somehow, and he's just got too much talent, so he can't do anything with it except.
And it looks like we kind of lost Tim. Tim, are you there?
it impact guys?
Well, you kind of cut out there a little bit, Tim. Unlike
Oh.
Steph's hair, which needs to be cut.
Well,
So,
well, I mean, what I was saying was that
right.
it's just all his excess talent. So,
Yes.
you know, he's very talented at basketball, and
Yeah,
so
well, I kind of think it looks disgusting, and it kind of ruins my my fantasies. So, of greatness, fantasies of greatness in his basketball conquests. So, but I'm a money guy. So what can we weigh in on his stocks? Like the stocks in Steph, as it were.
well, I mean, Steph Curry's stocks are going up real high. I would
That's
assume.
great.
I mean,
Fantastic.
he's averaging 31 points a game this season, I think it is. And you know that's a pretty high average for a basketball player. So I'd say his stocks are pretty up there.
It is important though for all of our listeners at home. It's not possible to own stocks in a actual basketball player. This is all more metaphorical. How I'm sure you were alluding to this idea, this concept tying in the currencies with Curry and C's. We see stock growth as a positive thing in our economic situation here in the United States, and we're just drawing a correlation there. Is that right, Hal?
Well, I actually do own stock in Steph Curry. I was actually going down 34th Street, and there was a guy handing out flyers, and he's like, I only have a limited supply of these stocks in Steph Curry. And so I bought the rest of them. So I own quite a bit of I own quite a bit of stocks in the Steph Curry brand. I believe it's about 54%, so a majority stock. And that brings into question whether owning a human is ethical. But I actually haven't been able to contact him to whether he is aware that I technically do own him. So that's another discussion. All right, so that's what we could do for the Steph Curry.
Yeah, that's
Steph Curry
that'll
bit.
work.
That was a good bit. I'm glad it got to the slavery conversation. That's always a good place to end up.
Never know where it's gonna go with Hal.
You were doing that conversation, and I was thinking, man, I should have an old man character that just reminisces on like horrible things in history, like slavery. Back in the good old days when you actually could own another human being. Those were the days. Something like that.
And Hal just finds himself strangely agreeing with everything the other said. Yeah, I'm of course from a different generation from the baby boomers, but I think a lot of that advice kind of resonates with me. So.
Oh man, I like that.
I think we're getting places.
I think so too.
This is probably the most productive I've been in a Sonic parking lot. Minus that one time in high school. And the most productive I've been in the front seat of a car in a Sonic parking lot.
Okay,
Solid. A solid.
Okay. Not safe for work. What am I talking about? We're talking about it at my work, and you guys are telling me that it's actually safe. So, great.
It was safe, you might say.
Yeah,
Right.
and was this podcast gonna have the explicit tag on the store? The store?
Explicitly, I'm not sure. We want the little tykes at home. Obviously, I know that it's Tyrone's Tykes are one of our sponsors. They actually have our podcast going on pretty much 24/7. So, yeah, I mean, there might be expletive content. We just probably won't mark it in the podcast section of iTunes.
Well, and Tyrone's Tykes obviously is a local daycare that is owned by Tyrone Jensen, who was obviously formerly in the WWE. He was known as the Wrecker. He's 6'8" and I believe 420 pounds. And he started up a local daycare here that also helps to train up young professionals in the WWE industry. And so to say that we want to protect their ears is an understatement. I mean, we're talking about the kids of the next generation, and I think to keep them pure and wholesome is not only our job but our responsibility.
Absolutely, and when Tyrone had that heart condition, he actually lost about 100 pounds. So he's, God bless him, he's still 320 pounds, I believe, or something around that. But still quite a hefty guy. But actually, an incident occurred about a year ago when he actually sat on one of the little tykes. But the kid's okay now. Most of her upper body functions have returned. So that's good for her. Still wheelchair bound, but could have been a lot worse. So.
Well, and I don't know if you're aware, but the McDonald's that moved in across from Tyrone Tykes, right after it opened there, it was under a lot of scrutiny for advertising to the children. It's one of the most successful branches in the area, right. And really, what people fail to understand is that actually the majority of that business is Tyrone himself, not so much his though he does typically provide lunch for the children from McDonald's, Big Macs and things of that like. He also is actually one of the biggest patrons himself. It's not the children so much participating in that avenue for eateries as much as just Tyrone himself.
Right, and people, that know Tyrone will call him slippery. And, if you know Tyrone, you know that that's not negative in context. He literally is, when you touch him, he is slippery from all of the grease that he ingests through McDonald's and other these fast food restaurants of sorts. And he doesn't bother to bathe as much. So he literally, you really can't hold on to him. So not that I particularly want to hold on to him, but it's great because these little munchkins, they climb on top of him and then they fall off, and he's certainly not a Jared who from Subway, as you recall, who we can talk about that too if you want, but kids were just all like a magnet to him, as if I recall that correctly. So if you don't want to go to jail for touching kids, then coat yourself in grease, I guess, is the moral of the story there.
I mean, there's definitely something to be said about greasing up. As we know, we are also sponsored by sorry, I got a text here. We were also sponsored by Laron's Lube.
Yeah.
A great sponsor. From
yeah, what was that? One of our guests on the show uses Laron's quite frequently. If we could just you could just tell us more about that.
Yeah, so actually, I first heard about Laron's on your podcast last week.
Wow.
And so I went to the local lube store, and I got Laron's lube, and let me tell you what, my life has changed ever since that fateful day. Laron's Lube has provided me all that I need to, how shall I say this? Just be happy with life, and it's really got me out of my depression. I'm also taking medicine and going to the doctor and doing other things. But yes, I have a very positive experience with Laron so far. I'm really looking forward to the new flavors that are coming out.
You know, in my day, you know, we really didn't have depression. We just, you know, a lot of guys would, you know, they'd come up to me and say, "Why are you so depressed?" And, you know, why are your pants so short? You know, why can we see the pockets coming out of the underside of your pants? You know, what are you, some kind of a fairy? And you know, that really kind of, you know, made me snap out of it and realize that, you know, I needed to be happy about life. Um, but incidentally, I was using a lot of lube during that time as well. Uh, so for me, in an indirect way, brought about happiness as well. So, you know, it's great to see that correlation with lubrication equals longevity of life. Maybe alliteration. Gil, you wanna take this one?
Yeah. I think really what we're talking about here is more so really you're talking about a situation where dry skin really gets to it's irritating, and it's something that is just constantly sticking with you, and having that lube just refreshes you and makes life more vibrant in a sense. So yeah, I mean, to say that there's some healing there, I definitely would agree. It's definitely not necessarily prescribed as an antidepressant, though. I guess is how I would phrase that.
Fantastic. Well, LeBron's lube, I use it, you use it. It's good for life. If we could just move on to our next topic, the S&P 500. You know, will we break even this year? You know, in light of, you know, the 2016 is coming up and 2015 is going to be soon in our wake. First of all, you know, what is S&P and what does it stand for? And uh, will they go above five? Will they go above 500? We just throw that out to our guests.
Yeah, so Ben Benson is here with us from Tennessee. He's a caller in. I met him actually back in the coffee shop I used to work at, which was across from the market. Longtime day trader who was fired over some minor charges.
He used to smoke a lot of doobies, if I remember. But who didn't? It was the 80s. It was a great time.
It was, and I think there were some minor charges thrown around about inside trading, but for the most part, it seems like those have kind of subsided, and he's been able to get back into the market, hugely successful. Ben, go ahead and talk about going even this year in the S&P.
Well, now, boys, I've been trading on this there stock market now for a while now. As y'all said, back since the 80s, I was smoking doobies about every day. Attribute most of my success to doobie smoking.
Wow.
I was not accused of insider trading, but I was inside her trading.
No, oh my goodness.
If you know what I mean. But that is not what you had me on the show for, so I apologize for that quick tangent.
To the children listening.
But now you asked if this here S&P 500 is going to get up to 500, and now it's tough to tell at this point in the year, boys. 500 is just such a big number. Most people around my area can't count that high. So we shoot for smaller goals, more about 5, 6, 7 on a good day. Some of us can get to 11 to 10, but not 500 most times. So, but I think it will. I've always been perplexed by what S&P stands for, honestly.
Right.
But that, I mean, yeah, at this point in the year, I'd say you could bet the mortgage on 5 or 6, but I don't know about 500.
Well, and I think you bring up a point talking about how it's kind of tough to predict at this point in the year. I am correct in saying there's only one trading week left in the year. Is that correct?
Well, now, yeah, in the calendar year, I was talking about the fiscal year. And my fiscal year runs from September to September.
Wow, so we're
Tax
right in the
purposes mostly. The doobie, more of like a doobie calendar based on when the hemp crops are more likely to grow. So that's my calendar. Now, if you're talking about the calendar that the rest of the world uses, yeah, it's probably gonna get about 480, I'd say. Not quite to 500, but pretty damn close.
right.
Before 2016. But my fiscal year just started about a couple months ago, so it's still early on in the game.
Right. Well, I mean, is September. What is it? September, October, November. Yeah. So you're right in the middle of your calendar, your fiscal year, which is fantastic for your business. But incidentally, I just want to make a disclaimer for our listeners out there that Ben Benson, yeah, he was accused of insider trading, but I myself have done 100% of my trading indoors. Never once have I gone outside to trade. It doesn't make any sense. There's no telephones out there, and the ones that are payphones. So you're losing money right off the bat when you're paying for payphones outside. I just did all of my trading on the phone inside. It's just naturally how the flow of stocks goes for people who aren't that, who don't know too much about the stock markets and how trading works. Who hasn't done insider trading?
Now that's a good point. That's a good. I'm glad you brought that up, because now people say that you have an advantage when you're insider trading, but when you go outside, you automatically cut your margins incredibly slim. So you'd be a fool to do outsider trading.
Yeah.
Insider trading is the only way to go. I totally agree with that. 100%.
Well, and I think it's an interesting point. First of all, insider trading obviously being trading within a company that you have information to.
Right. While you're inside.
Well, it could be. Well, you could be literally inside, or you could be literally outside. It's more information that people who are on the outside don't have access to. But in addition to that, I think what's really interesting is technology and how really the markets really have changed, and now you're able to trade from your iPhone, and we see these pictures of people trading on yachts, and I don't know, Ben. It's becoming more and more automatic, more and more automated. Do you have any thoughts on the technology and what that's doing to the market?
Well, now here, I'm not very big on that there technology. I still got a phone plugged into my wall, and I still fax in most of my trades. So you're kind of outside of my realm of expertise, so to say. But
Man,
the kiddos these days apparently have wild success with technology in trading. But now, if you want to fax me some questions, I might be able to answer better. But it's tough to tell right now from my end.
Yeah, and maybe one day they'll make some sort of technology that enables you to, make trades outside of the building, make trades while you're in the car, through some sort of a handheld device. The technology just isn't there yet.
Technology is overrated, fellas. Let me tell you that.
Once you go wireless, that's when the communists can tap in, and that's why I go with the straight landline. I go through it 100% of the time. So I was actually yes.
Everything I do is hardwired.
Right.
Because I'm not trying to have nobody steal my identity.
Right.
Happened once. it might happen again. So everything is hardwired for me. And that's just my opinion. But I've seen too many people go software, go tech savvy, as they say, and lose it all. And I'm not gonna do that to me and my family. My family means too much to me.
Right.
Not be hardwired.
Right. Well, and I was talking to the guys in the studio, and I was on this website, downloadmoreram.com, which if people aren't familiar with RAM, it kind of ties into electrical currents. But basically, RAM is, it makes your computer run faster. So my computer was getting bogged down with a lot of pop-up ads and everything. So I went on this site to download more RAM. And the guys in the back said, don't do that. That's not efficient. You want to go out and get that physical RAM at the store. So I was unsure of it. So I didn't click on the website to buy the RAM. So it's just one instance where the young tech guys agreed with me that going and get something physical, something tangible, is invaluable. So but the technology just really isn't there yet. I'm not comfortable with it. That's why I do all of my trading inside, and I think Gil will agree with me there. Maybe not.
Yeah, so I think that really we've probably moved to a place with the advancements in smartphones and tablets and things of that nature, wireless internet, Wi-Fi, 4G. We've just been provided opportunities to trade much more efficiently and to trade from anywhere in the world at any time. It's an incredible opportunity. I think that really it's something that should be taken advantage of. You're talking about a market with thousands and thousands of different individual stocks, and the technology allows you to just tap into things outside of what you're looking at right now. But kind of along that topic, things I am looking at right now, I'd like to get your opinion on, Ben. I'm looking at UPS. I think it's in a huge correction period. What do you think?
Well, now, let me very quickly, let me tell you a story here about RAM. Now, I was told I got a computer for the first time about 5 years ago. And I was told, Ben, you're going to need some more RAM. I thought, well, our Rams are nice, but here on the farm, the nice thing you can have is a horse.
Sure, right.
So I thought, let's not get a Ram, let's get a horse. So I go on this here World Wide Web and search horse for my computer.
Right.
And this here Trojan horse came up. I said, that's a mighty fine horse for my computer.
Right.
And so I downloaded it right quick, and it broke my computer. So lesson learned there is don't get greedy. Stick with the RAM. The horse is too much of a risk.
Right. And incidentally, I've got a few Trojans guarding my computer as well, and it slows down the computer quite a bit, but they really do protect.
They do. Now, if you use them the right way, sometimes you gotta rein in that horse there, get it do the right job for you. Otherwise, it's gonna be not very good for you. But if you can get her under control, she'll be nice for you.
Right.
Now,
exactly.
UPS is an interesting stock at this point in time, and that's all I have to say about that.
Well,
my phone's about to die. I apologize.
Yeah, and that's a problem with UPS. The United States Postal Service is it's been reliable for so many years, and the postman coming to your door. Now they're delivering Amazon packages. So, the USPS is a fantastic service, but the partnership with Amazon is questionable.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get off real quick because my phone's about to die. How long are y'all doing this though? Forever.
I think it might be about time to call it a night.
It's about that time. I've got an AM appointment that occurs in the AM time zone.
But I mean, we'll be picking it up again. I think we got a strong start. Now it's just kind of getting some structure around it and getting to it. I think we know how to record it. I think we know where to go with it. I think we're about there.
Peter, you still on?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, yeah, that's the other thing. We need Chris in here, too.
Yeah. If we can get Chris and Kellen to come up with some stuff, too.
Damn.
That's money.
That's the money, bro.
Yo, just give me like a day in advance though to like when we're gonna record, and because I'll have to like plan it.
You need a full day, Peter?
Because like most of the way through this call, like the audio was kind of blurring out and stuff, just or like lagging out for the pure fact that Dad's home and he's watching Netflix. So, like.
Oh, I got you.
If I don't want to miss something like that, because, like I got most of it, but there was something I can't even remember what it was that I missed, and I was like, well, hope that wasn't important. But yeah, you know what I mean.
I got you. All right.
Yeah.
Well, good session.
I'll try to probably grab a webcam, just something small.
All right, sounds good.
And hopefully I'll grab Christian sometime too.
Yeah, I'm ready to get Chris on board.
I mean,
Chris is gonna have a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, he's gonna be good for this.
All right.
All right, boys.
Well, all right, friends. I guess I'm gonna hop off here.
All right.
I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. JL, can you send me the link to this?
Yep.
Nice. Great.
All right, cool.
Are you looking for the
Bye.
YouTube link, or are you looking for the?
The YouTube link.
Yeah.
And I'm available for most of tomorrow too. So.
Okay. I'm heading down to Shelby's tomorrow, so
Okay.
I probably won't be. But we'll get back in. I'll be back in Knoxville a little bit too, so
All right.
I'll be able to talk to like Nathan and maybe Dan, but probably not.
Okay.
Sweet.
Man, that's good work.
Yeah, man. I just sent you the link too.
Wait, where'd you send it to? Was it on Facebook or?
It's on your Hangout.
It's on my Hangout.
Yeah, I'm on.
All right. All right, man. Sounds good. Thanks.
Yep.
All right. Peace.
See you, buddy.